we stand up. Shots be on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. What? We will be sure, we will be sure. Jim Crow under a ball ego, the biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in a dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win a war individually and take the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy.
Mr. Oswald. Oh crap. What's up everyone, Daniel Storm here, welcome to another video. Back here at Bernstein High School, there's going to be a special event today. So like and subscribe as always.
The camera King pointed to the mountaintop and we ran up. One day
the music stopped. There's one of the performers right there. I think there's gonna be a show or something that we're gonna be doing. I don't know what it's gonna be doing right now in today's video. Well, it's a vlog video here back at Bernstein High School. Like and subscribe as always. As I said earlier, and comment down below of your thoughts here. So let's roll it. What that? The song report? Oh my god. Oh my god, what happened to the screen? Oh. Bruh. Now we have to be saying bruh for the rest of the day now. Bruh. Holy crap. I think it's gonna start. It's gonna start like soon, like in a minute. The curtains. The curtains are closed. We just see one guy in there. Everyone keeps saying that's Kevin. Well, okay. If that's Kevin, that is Kevin.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today?
Good.
Awesome.
I love you.
Oh my god.
I love you too. So excited to see all of you. So excited to celebrate Black History Month. Who's excited for that? We are excited too. So this is a really, really special day for us because the Black Student Union just got founded this year, so we're brand new.
Oh, this is something interesting.
And a part of our process has been really, in terms of preparing for today, really trying to educate ourselves and trying to see what we wanted to share with you all. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our journey, and then we're going to get started. So, the journey began last year, right? during a very beautiful Black History Assembly where the Black students said, man, we didn't even know anything about it. And we're back. Go figure. So they had a conversation with Mr. Ramirez, and Mr. Ramirez was amazing and said, okay, well, how about next year, y'all do it. But guess what? That was a lot of responsibility, especially for a brand new organization. But we met, we talked, we tried to educate ourselves, and we did a documentary. And that documentary was fabulous. Why am I saying was? Because the computer crashed right before this assembly. So we were very excited to share that with you all, and we hope to be able to share it with you in the future. Many of you participated on it, and during that documentary there was a lot of great dialogue about what Black history meant to a lot of different people. Because one of the apprehensions of a lot of the students in the Black Student Union was, is Black history important to people who aren't Black? So I'm going to ask you all, is Black history important to people who aren't Black?
Yes.
Thank you. But see, I knew that's how you all felt. And that's exactly what you all said on the documentary, that it was important, that it had made, that Black people had made an impact in your life, that the struggles that Black people went through and the fights that they fought actually ended up improving things for all Americans. So we're really excited about that. And we know that we will be able to share with you all that wonderful footage soon and very soon. In the meantime, we've been working very hard on some presentations, and our individuals got to choose who they wanted to present for you today. So, with no further ado, are you all ready?
Yes.
Are you all really ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, our first presenter is Mr. Jeremiah Scott. And he wanted to present to you all someone who is one of his favorite Black history figures, although there were many. And that person's name is Jesse Owens. Have any of you all ever heard of Jesse Owens? This man was out of sight. Let me tell you a little bit about Jesse Owens before Mr. Jeremiah came out. Mr. Jesse Owens, in 1936, went to the Olympics, but guess where the Olympics were? I ain't got no money to give you, but you own it. Yes, it was in Germany. And guess who was in leadership in Germany? Hitler. And so he went to Germany in the midst of the Holocaust and all of the horrible atrocities that were occurring in Germany with Jewish people. So what Hitler was trying to prove was that the Aryan race, which was the white race, was superior to all other races. And he went so far as to try to eliminate all other races. So here comes Mr. Jesse Owens, fully Black, not a little bit Black, but blackity black. And guess what he did? He won more Olympic gold medals that had ever been won in the Olympics. He then, yes, that's worth an applause. He then went to set records that weren't broken after him for decades. So he was a bad man. He set the record in the long jump and in the 100-meter dash. When I tell you, he was something serious. So,
Of course, we're going to chorus.
I always love running. It was something you can do by yourself under your own power.
Funny boomer. I got that on camera. Funny boomer.
Fast or slow, as you want it. Fighting the wind if you felt like it. Seeking out new sights just on the strength of your feet and on the courage of your lungs. The battles that count aren't the ones for gold medals.
Alright. Another boomer.
Alright, another boomer. Alright, another boomer.
So we're gonna remind him. And you're gonna go.
Of course, behind the scenes, we'll show. Oops, this guy's in the way. Let me move it up. Okay, just doing the thing again. Oh my god. Bunch of boomers today.
Yeah, do it!
Okay, just so they do it, hopefully we can get the whole video.
The battles that count aren't the ones with gold medals. The struggle within yourself, the invisible battle within inside all of us, that's where it's at.
Take number 3. Yeah, this is not how it's supposed to go.
We all have dreams. But in order for dreams to come into reality, it takes an awful lot of determination, dedication, self-discipline,
Oh!
and effort.
What is going on with this?
To me, we must learn to spell the word respect. We must respect the rights and properties of our fellow men. Then learn to play the game of life as well as the game of athletics. According to the rules of society, if you can take that and put it into practice in the community in which you live in, then to me, you have won the greatest championship.
This time success. Oh, I think that's her family.
Awesome job, Jeremiah. He rocked it. He rocked it. Now, who in here is related to Murphy? Do y'all know who Murphy is?
Eddie Murphy.
No, not that Murphy. Who in here knows who Murphy is? Y'all know who Murphy is? Murphy is not my friend. Murphy is the person, when they say Murphy's Law, that means if it could go wrong, it does go wrong. So we have worked really, really hard, and I am loving your energy. Give me some more of that energy.
Yes.
How many of you all have seen Jeremiah run? He is fast. So he chose a perfect person to present in Mr. Jesse Owens. And Mr. Jesse Owens showed Mr. Hitler that no, sir, no race is dominant. Good job, Jesse Owens. Our next presenter, Miss Ariana Carter, will be coming to present a poem that may be familiar to some of you, but brand new to others. And this poem is presented because the poet, Dr. Maya Angelou, is sacred to Black history. She's sacred for a couple of reasons. How many of you all have heard of Dr. Maya Angelou? You should look up her work. Let me tell you a little bit about her story. Dr. Maya Angelou didn't talk when she was 7 years old because she was raped when she was young. You've heard of her. And what she did was she told on the man who raped her, and then he was killed. So it was a really tragic story. And she felt words that had caused his death. So she didn't speak for many, many years. But she wrote, and she said, "You don't love poetry." And Maya Angelou shook her head and she said, because she didn't talk. And the teacher said, you can't love poetry. Because if you loved poetry, you would have to speak its words. So that challenged Maya Angelou because she knew she loved poetry. So she began to speak so that she could speak her poetry. And her speaking those words led her to win and be honored to have the highest esteem that you can have as a civilian in the United States. And she was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Barack Obama for her voice. So I tell that story because one of the things about Black history is we can see ourselves in other people's triumphs as well as their struggles. So you find what it is that you love and you allow that thing to take you to the highest heights, and don't you let anything hold you back. Well, Miss Ariana Carter is going to tell you a little bit more about that. So let's give it up for Miss Ariana Carter.
Alright, more boomers. It's almost like the technical difficulties right now during this is an assembly, by the way.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tide. Just like hope springing high, still I rise. Do you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my hardiness offend you? Don't take it awful hard, cause I laugh like I got gold mines, digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I rise.
This one took more success than the last one.
Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm the black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leave behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the hope and the dream of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
My name is Queen Nanny. I was born free in Western Africa in the 17th century. I am a proud member of the Ashanti tribe. One horrible day, my forebears and I was captured by Europeans and shipped to Jamaica and became slaves. After suffering for so many years, we escaped from the slave plantation and went to the mountains and the jungle of Jamaica. While my brother and I started a community known as Nanny Town, we built Nanny Town away from the European settlement so it's difficult to attack. While I was in Nanny Town, through plantation owner was using slaves and equipment demanded the British Army to stop us. In 1733, I was killed by a man known as Captain Sambo. After my death, many of the former slaves moved across the island of Jamaica. Nanny Town was eventually captured and destroyed by the British in 1734. My life and accomplishment has been recognized by the government of Jamaica, and I am the only woman to have been honored as a national hero.
I learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. No one is born hating another person because of color of his skin or his background. People must learn to hate. If they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity. It is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by actions of human beings. Sometimes the false behind generation be great. You be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. And remember, it always seems impossible until it is done. Thank you.
Who represented his frustration, to be quite honest. How many of you all know sometimes it's hard to be a black person in the United States? I live in a country where I'm oppressed every day. So he chose not to go, and he risked going to prison. He risked high fines, and they tried to strip him of his title and his Olympic medal, and they did. And he was okay with that because he was a man of his principles. So, with no further ado, I give you Mr. John Symington as Mr. Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah, it's the dude that we saw in like almost like every scene. We're waiting.
sea. I have fought with alligators. I have tussled with whales. I've done handcuffed lightly and throw thunder in jail. You know I'm bad. Just last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, and hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.